When it first arrived, the Audi E-Tron GT was a good-looking machine that could do with more power, more range, more efficiency. It was seriously outshined by its family stablemate in the Porsche Taycan. But then the Taycan got some upgrades. And then those upgrades found their way to the E-Tron. And now, the Audi might be the one to have. This car I'm in is crazy. This is the 2025 Audi RS E-Tron GT Performance. The horsepower number is amazing. When you're in boost mode or launch control mode, whatever you want to call it, you have 912 horsepower at your disposal. 912. That's crazy. The regular E-Tron, the S model, makes do with 670. The non-performance RS E-Tron GT makes do with 845. This one has 912. And I know what you're saying, oh, well, you know, that's only for 10-second bursts when you're in boost mode and blah, 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 blah. Just driving around, not in boost mode, I have 730 horsepower. So I have plenty of power no matter what. It's amazing. Audi quotes a 0 to 60 time of 2.5 seconds. The buff books that test these things are recording 2.1 seconds. And I heard a story about someone who went to the launch of this, which they did at a racetrack. He brought his own V-Box and he recorded a 1.9. Unreal. You want to see one? No one's coming behind me. Holy shit. Oh my God. You can, out here driving on the street, I can pull up to 99.999% of all the traffic around me, and I am quicker. And that is an amazing feeling. The thrust of this car, just not in boost mode, just in regular, I have it in performance in the drive select mode. It's amazing. It hunkers down, it goes. I just cannot talk enough about how much this car has improved. And it's not just because of the power. And to get that power, the front motor is the same, but the rear motor is more powerful, yet weighs less, which is brilliant. They also expanded the battery capacity. It's in the 90s now, it used to be in the 80s in terms of kilowatt hours. I'll put the exact number up here. It charges faster. You can now charge these at 320 kilowatts, so that's fantastic too. The base car on the 20-inch wheels, so the 670 horsepower car, gets 300 miles of range, which is great. This one drops to 270, I believe, but when I'm driving it, so when I first charged the car up fully overnight, I get in the car, it read 293, which is fine, and then as soon as I put it in performance, it read like 240, which also is fine. I'm driving this like a total idiot, and I'm still getting good range relative to the performance it is delivering. This one is also fitted with what Porsche calls Active Ride. It's a suspension I went over in the Taycan Sport Turismo video, link above, you know, if you want to go get a deeper dive into what that does. But basically, that removes the need for anti-roll bars, and now this has a more hydraulic setup in terms of keeping the body flat, but it also raises the car up real quickly for ingress and egress when you're getting in and out of it. It keeps it super stable. It's just a very comfortable system. Like, the car just corners flat. but it's also comfortable. It's a really great. There's also something involved with it where it's called the skyhook principle. It's as if the body of the car was suspended from above, while the wheels and tires are allowed to do their thing, so that you in the cabin don't really feel it. But you can still, like, the steering is still great. That doesn't ruin the steering of the car. And this has a fantastic steering wheel. I know in a recent video with the BMW M5 Touring, which was a car I enjoyed, I just hate BMW's chunky steering wheels. And again, I know that there are a number of you out there who like that. I like a thinner wheel, and I've always said that the Porsche steering wheel is fantastic. This Audi steering wheel right here, it's the squircle, you know, the squared circle design, but it's not like overdoing it. It's not goofy. And it's just the thinness of it wrapped in the Alcantara feels great. But normally when I do these, I talk about the outside, the inside, then we get to power, and this car was just too much where I had to get right to power. But I will touch on that the outside did get some styling tweaks. I do think that the E-Tron looks better than the E-Tron GT looks better than the Taycan. I like the way the Taycan looks. There's just something extra special about the Audi. A little bit more spaceship sleekness to it. And then on the inside, the E-Trons have always been slightly nicer than the Porsches. These seats are great. This has what is soon to be Audi's last gen tech for its screens, because I've driven some more modern stuff with the dual OLED panels, and they're just much nicer. They look better. They respond better. It's just a better infotainment experience. These are fine, but having experienced what is set to come for future Audis, it's better. That's better. So eventually an e-tron refresh will likely include that singular dual screen display. I say singular dual because it's one panel with two screens, and it looks great. So yeah, super comfortable. Not a ton of legroom in the back, but usable legroom. I could move my seat up and be comfortable if someone needed to sit behind me. That's fine. But I gotta tell you, the way this thing drives and handles is a revelation compared to the old e-tron. The old e-tron was good, but you could tell it was hampered by the technology stuffed underneath it. Like, it could have been a better car, and the Taycan with similar components was better. But now that they're basically the same underneath, this might be the one to get over the Taycan. And here's another great reason. This starts at $168,000, I believe, which is tons of money. But for what you're getting, you know, factor that in, it is $42,000 less than the Taycan Turbo S. $42,000 for what I think is a slightly better looking and more comfortable car with the same powertrain. I mean, what are we doing here? Why? Get the e-tron, get the RS e-tron GT Performance. This thing is fantastic. I cannot say enough about it, because not only is the straight line quickness just, I mean, this is the first car in a while. I've definitely driven cars where I've been like, oh my God, on the acceleration, but it's been a bit, you know, like things are like settling down, or maybe not settling down, but my recent string of EVs has been like, oh yeah, that's cool. And so it's been a while since I've been in one where you go, holy shit! And it's fucking so much fun. It is so much fun. Every time I do it, I can hear my daughter giggle in the back. It's just a blast of a thing to drive. Now on the flip side, it also handles really well thanks to that suspension and the big boy meaty tires and all that stuff. Like, it's fun to drive. The brakes feel great. It's a complete package. Audi crushed it on this update for this e-tron GT. I wish I could afford one. As tested, this thing is like $190 because it has the Dynamics package, which is like $11,000. It has all this chopped carbon. This paint job is $595, which is a bargain, I guess, compared to everything else going on here. But if you want like the carbon brakes, big wheels and tires, the active suspension, which I believe is part of the Dynamics package, which is at $11,000. But relative to what you're getting for that package, because this suspension parts can't be cheap, I'm not going to try to make bones about it. I know I bitch a lot about pricing in basically every video I do. I'm not going to bitch about pricing on here, specifically because this is an absolute steal of a car compared to the Taycan Turbo S. Oh, just grip it and rip it is so well defined in this car. I love this car. I would daily drive the absolute shit out of one of these, especially, but I don't think you can. I wish they would offer it in one of their, I gotta double check. They might offer it in one of their good greens, but then you can't spec other things that I like better. Like, you can't get smaller wheels, obviously, if you're getting the Dynamics package, because I'd rather have 20s just to even increase ride comfort a little bit more, get a little more sidewall. And there are a couple other things, like you can't really define it how I'd want to spec it, whereas with Porsche you can really piecemeal a lot of stuff to really fine tune it and spend tons of money. Audi's is much more packaged into what you can and can't do, but man, one of these in Audi's fantastic green, I like it a lot. This thing is awesome. I know the Porsche, you know, if you pull up to valet, maybe the Porsche, yeah, actually, I disagree. I was gonna say the Porsche will be like, get more wows. I took this to a valet in Newport Beach, and the valets were geeking out over this thing. They parked it right next to a McLaren out front and a Rolls Royce. The fun fact is this will destroy anything in the car park at that valet. They were like, whoa, look at that chopped carbon, look at that Alcantara. The valet guys were loving this thing, and they were not wrong. They were not wrong.